like this is the biggest. Like, what a hunk of shit.
Yeah, he goes, the art has betrayed us.
Yeah.
I'll never watch a movie again.
Because the dinosaurs suck ass in that movie.
Which one? The newest one?
All the new Jurassic Parks, it's like pathetic. It's like a video game.
But then
the first Jurassic Park's still way better.
So then, like, days later, he's
Ben,
stuck.
have a beer.
He's stuck. He's in an elevator. Days later, he's in an elevator with Chris Pratt, and he goes, I think he said something like, your talents, like, you're so special. He's like, you're an entertainer like we've never seen.
I was delivering food to the Universal lot, which you and I both did
Yeah, you were in an elevator with
I was in an
him, right?
elevator with him, and there was like all this scaffolding. They were doing all this work, and I made like a joke about the scaffolding, and he like laughed, and then I looked over, and I was like, oh shit, that's like, that guy looks so familiar. I was like, oh, that's that Chris Pratt guy. And then when we got out, I'm still a loser, but when I had nothing, anytime I was around anybody that had any pull, or not like personally, like celebrities.
Yeah,
It's like, it's just funny to me. I always had this thing where it's like, maybe if I fucking make them laugh, they'll like just be like, hey, yeah, take up $100,000.
Yeah, you have that fantasy in your head you've had since you were a kid of like, Kobe's gonna break down on my street and he's gonna need a glass of water.
Yeah.
Yeah, then he's gonna
you've heard it
move
many
in.
times. Yep.
He's gonna move in and we're gonna share a bed together and
Yeah.
we're gonna have sex.
For the listeners,
He's gonna get me pregnant.
I would have loved that. I would have had Kobe's kids. I would have become trans, and gotten surgeries to like have Kobe's children. He needed a guy. He needed a boy. Let's be honest. And I could have given it to him. But I've always had that type of fantasy. Yeah, as a kid, I used to before Lakers games, I would have this fantasy that he would drive down my street going to the game, and he'd like get a flat tire, and he'd like knock on my door and be like, "Hey, can you help me?" And then I'd help him, and then he'd be like, "You want to come to the game?"
He walks inside and he looks around and he goes, oh my God, I'm about to be murdered. It's just covered in Kobe, like, memorabilia.
That's what's so fun about you is you're so stupidly optimistic and hopeful, yet life is just beating you down like nobody I've ever seen. It's amazing you're not like two-dimensional just from life, just backing up over you and pulling forward again and backing up and pulling over again.
You're right about that. I should teach a class on how to be happy, and I'm just go like, you just got to drink through it.
Band-Aids.
I go,
you just got a Band-Aid.
Life is going to just keep hurting the people you love. Nothing will happen that you want, and there's a trick here. You listen to music, you watch Goodfellas, and you get fucked up.
As a life coach, you go, just keep lying to yourself. Poison your body. Escape this reality into another one. It is funny to think about you now with Lemon Party.
Yeah.
Because now you got something kind of going okay for you.
Ben, this is all I have.
And
Lemon Party's all I have.
Now it's funny. Now if you ran into, like, we're going to run into Tom Hanks at the bar after this, you'd be like, I have Lemon Party. You can go fuck yourself. I don't give a fuck who you are.
That is true, because back before I had anything,
Now you have something going on.
If I met Tom Hanks at a bar, I would like kind of try and charm him. I'd try and take like Chet's spot and be like, come on, like, why don't you put me in the wheel over Chet?
Yeah, come on, Chet. I don't have face tattoos. I don't
I'd
rap.
be like, come on, Chet's an embarrassment.
Yeah.
Dude, I got to see Devin around an actual famous person now.
Dude, every
to see
time.
him, just tell him to go fuck themselves preemptively.
Well, here's the thing, though. I'm joking about the whole like thinking they'll do something for me. That was like always kind of in the back of my mind. Like I met Anthony Kiedis as a kid, and he like liked the way I played basketball, and he like complimented me, and like kind of became like a weird friend. My friend on the team, his dad was friends with Anthony Kiedis, the Red Hot Chili Peppers lead singer. So he would like come to games.
He's dead, right?
No, he's alive.
Oh, okay.
He's alive and well. No, he's a mukbanger now. And I used to see, after I met him a few times, and I was like, oh, he likes me. Like, that guy knows who I am. And I was a huge Red Hot Chili Peppers fan. I would see him at Lakers games get interviewed, and in the kid brain in me would always be, like, the desperate kid brain would always be like, I'd always be waiting for him to mention me. Like, I always thought, like, he'd be getting interviewed, and then he'd be like, yeah, it's a great game tonight. And also, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the talents of this young kid I met a couple weeks ago. Devan Costi's an amazing basketball player. He's 11, and he's incredible. I just want everyone to know his name's Devan Costi. And I literally had moments of delusion where I'd be watching on TV at home, and I'd be like, man, he
I missed it again,
damn,
man.
he just didn't talk about
Forgot
me again. He always leaving me out.
I think I've done that before, where I delivered food to some famous person, and then they had an interview on something, and I'm like, I wonder if maybe they're gonna have an anecdote about some guy who's really cool who handed them a Pokeball.
Because you had a moment for a second,
Yeah.
you made a joke, and you always kind of wondered, like, maybe he'll mention me on Kimmel tonight. It's kind of.
He's like, yeah, this guy handed me a Pokeball, and he said, beautiful weather today. Like, that's his whole anecdote he brings. That's his whole anecdote he brings to the late night with Jimmy Fallon or whatever.
That's literally what I was
It's just some guy with a swollen face who's clearly an alcoholic, who looks much older than he should. A weird, dangly, slender man guy crawled up my steps in the Hollywood Hills with a Pokeball presented like this. Beautiful weather today. And then I just go back down. And like a freak,
George
like a
Clooney.
tarantula.
George Clooney's on the Tonight Show, and he's like, yeah, I met this young man. He offered me a trunk beer.
Now, by the way, if you I'd be afraid to compliment Chris Pratt. He'd turn him in the elevator and say, you love Jurassic Park. And he goes, oh, would you like to learn more about our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ?
That's why I thought that. Well, now.
He's the only guy around I'd want to talk about show business with, because the other categories you go into would be awful.
He's really unfairly treated.
Isn't he like a...
He's
what is
just
his
religious.
deal?
He's basic. He's average. He's an average religious man.
Yeah,
like,
but
he's Christian. Blah blah blah.
But he goes to church and stuff in like the gay way, right?
Yeah, he like does it all and shit and whatever. And that it confuses me.
You have to be if you go to church, you have to be an intellectual, because that's the only way you can make it interesting for me. If you're a dumb guy who goes to church, I don't want to hear anything you have to say about God.
You only respect Norm Macdonald Christians.
No, I respect like Jordan Peterson Christians and stuff. I was just listening to Jordan's thing on Exodus on the way over here.
Really?
Yeah.
What does he say?
Well, he's sitting around with a bunch of, because Ben Shapiro just puts him in rooms with Jews now because he's on the Daily Wire.
Yeah.
And they just talk about Judaism and it's Jewish professors and stuff. And all of my neighbors are Jewish, so I've been learning more about the Torah. I think it'd be cool to convert, by the way. Not to go off on too many tangents.
Just to like see what it's like.
I kind of...
You just think you'll wake up the next day with a bunch of money in your bank account?
Yeah, I'm going broke rapidly right now.
And you're like, I'm going to convert.
One of the reasons why I did start Lemon Party is I got to make it to the end of this lease. And I'm sitting here and I'm going, I got to become Jewish, damn it. And then maybe the stars will align. No, but you know what I am? I'm from talking to my Jewish neighbors who have taken me in, are lovely people. I go over for Shabbat and things like that. I would love to meet a rabbi, because they tell me stories of these great rabbis that can predict the future and give them great and mysterious advice.
If they could predict the future, how come they didn't see the Holocaust coming? I mean,
that was a misstep, I suppose.
I guess they were just sleeping in that day.
The powers don't work every time, I guess.
The rabbis can communicate with Yeshem.
Okay,
and then and then it comes down, and then they whisper in Ethan and Joel Cohen's ear. They're like, "Do make no country for old men." And then they go do it.
Fargo.
Why do you think all their movies are so good?
Yeah.